You can walk or run, just don't take a stumble, because we're on the road to the Royal Rumble. Hey, that one wasn't bad. I thought of it like right now. You're listening to the Street Brothers. Of course, this is the Street Brothers Wrestling Podcast. It's the only podcast you can find online. It's wrestling related, hosted by myself, Cameron Osborne. It's also hosted by Mike the Shoot Shepherd.
Bump, 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 bump. Ba-da-da.
And he's right over there, and I'm right over here, and this is it. This is the best part. This is the best part. All we can do now is just wait for Mike. I think it's both of our favorite pay-per-views of the year.
Oh, the Royal Rumble. Yes, my number one match of all time, for those that remember the top 5.
Yeah, old fans of the show remember that, for sure.
Yeah, just everything about it. It's just the fun, the surprise, the suspense, the returns, all the action, and just the rules of the match, it's not a battle royal. It's the only one where they've got, everyone comes out on their own. You get the whole entrance, the whole experience. So much fun.
Yeah, you get the whole countdown. You get the whole this, that, the other. And this is great because we have some go-home shows heading towards that. And we're going to chat about the Royal Rumble at the end of the show. So let's kick into our wrestling week. Shall we?
We shall.
We're going to kick off our wrestling week the only way we know how, which is with the Wrestler of the Week.
No.
Shit, it's the Tweet of the Week. It's the Tweet of the Week. It's the Tweet of the Week. So sorry, I'm looking at a tab here on it's the way my tabs are laid out on my computer right now. That was so inappropriate of me. Usually I'm so good at
I mean, it was a slight slip. There could be a lot more inappropriate.
That's true. I mean, I guess all I did was really just mess up one word.
Yeah, one word, and it's an actual part of the show, so.
So it's not like I was staying off brand or anything.
It's not as catastrophic as you think.
But our Wrestler of the Week, now I said it again.
Oh my
Tweet
God.
of the Week is going to Bleacher Report. You know them. They talk about wrestling sometimes and other sports.
Among others.
Often.
Yeah.
They have that little deal with they're I guess somehow owned by TNT, in bed with AEW, because they'll show like the pay-per-view pre-shows for free on their YouTube channel. And things like that, and they're all going together. And Mike, I just sent you what we're talking about because they sent out just some cool looking.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now.
You're looking at it right now. They could be some new
cool
artwork for your phone if you're looking for a background for those fans of professional wrestling and basketball, just as myself. We have LeBron James as Sting. We have the Splash Brothers, Steph Curry and Klay Thompson as the Bucks. Of course, we've got. I think this one's really fitting. It's the
Kawhi. That one's pretty.
The Kawhi
perfect.
Leonard as Orange Cassidy is probably the best. It's
like his demeanor. It's
fits.
It's both of them.
It fits so well. Luka Doncic is the is Darby Allin, Anthony Davis, Kenny Omega. I like the Gordon Hayward as Chris Jericho, like Le Champion Jericho. Moxley, Russell Westbrook. Cody is a blonde Chris Paul, which looks a little funny because he's the one where they changed the hair. All the other ones, their hair is the same except for Chris
it kind
Paul.
of fits in. That one doesn't. That one's a bit of a reach, but
either way,
they're all pretty good.
Some real cool basketball wrestling themed artwork for those who are fans of both, such as myself.
Yeah, Kenny Omega should grow out his unibrow in honor of.
He should.
Try to match up.
He should.
Didn't he shave it one time and then people were like, "Oh man," so he grew it back?
No, it was. I think it was all a prank.
Oh,
it was never shaved in the first place.
I fell for it.
Yeah,
It got me.
Yeah, you were worked.
Because I never actually saw evidence of the shave. I just heard the story.
Yeah,
I got worked, brother.
You got worked. What can happen? But Bleacher Report, you're the Tweety League champion for this week.
Congrats.
Okay.
Well, I guess we just jump right into the world of wrestling.
Let's do it, shall we? It's always the first show on our wrestling week. Of course, we're talking about SmackDown Live. Okay, folks, it's Friday night. It's time for SmackDown Live. It used to be on Tuesday, but then I think it was on Friday before, though. No, wait, we used to film it on a Thursday and then release it. It's just SmackDown Live.
Yeah, and it feels like it's always the way we kick off recently with Reigns and Heyman. coming out to talk about some stuff. Talk about Owens and Adam Pearce. He pulled the whole switcheroo last week. So, anyways, I think they all come out to the ring and we get some, Adam Pearce comes out, challenges Paul Heyman to a match. So they say they're going to have that one-on-one later. Maybe. We'll see.
Maybe. We'll see. Now, Mike, you know a little bit better than me. How much in-ring experience does a man like Paul Heyman have?
He's definitely taken some bumps. I'm sure he's probably even been in a match or two. But, nothing too serious. But... yeah, he could take a bump.
I guess so. We're all waiting for that waddling penguin to take something for a bump. I don't know, though. I don't see it happening.
No, I mean, it feels like it's going to be the old switcheroo again.
The old switcheroo.
2 weeks in a row. But then Sami Zayn comes out. He's got his documentary crew with him still. And the Justice for Sammy sign. And pulls out some handcuffs. Attaches himself to the barrier on the ramp and it just says, I'm not leaving. Last week I had Apollo beat. He cheated, hold my tights. So he's just going to stay there for a while.
Because we're kind of like 4 weeks into Justice for Sammy.
Yeah, he's had this documentary crew following around. And
it's been going really strong, like behind the scenes almost. Yeah.
I hope they release this footage. Put it together as some sort of WWE network thing.
Well, hey, you could kill 20 minutes of TV time with an edited together doc that furthers whatever Sami Zayn is working on right now.
Yeah. Well, he'll be chained there for a while, so people just start coming up.
We'll come back to him.
Yeah. In the meantime, the women's tag champs, Asuka, Charlotte, come out to take on the Riot Squad. Non-title match, though. Billie Kay's there again, all punk looking good. But yeah, she's causing distractions, trying to help her team out, but instead it screws her over again because Liv Morgan's got the pin. But anyways, eventually Liv bumps into Billie, knocks her off. Charlotte hits the natural selection on Ruby, gets the win. But hopefully Riot Squad time will come soon.
Yeah, this is one of those weird bummer bookings where it's like we're 2 weeks into Billie Kay managing the Riot Squad angle, right? Maybe 3 weeks into it or whatever, and she's already impacting them in a negative way. Like, this doesn't bode well for the future, correct? Like, there's no way, you come over, you're an MVP type presence, or you're a Taz type guy, and then you just fucking dominate. But Billie Kay doesn't quite have that managerial expertise in her yet.
No, I was hoping she would fall backwards though into success. Just kind of accidentally help them.
Take the nesty plunge into meaningful.
She'd be like a Kramer. She would luck out and have things happen. But no, she screwed them once again. So afterwards, backstage, Billie's apologizing to them, but she says, "Hey, I got you entered into the Rumble, so let's all go practice." But Ruby says, "Billie, there's no us. The squad would be much better if it was just me and Liv." So they just leave poor, sad Billie just hanging.
Yeah, well, that's what's going to happen, right? But why?
Maybe this will break her, and then she'll go goth to get back.
So we're saying character. We're saying new character.
Yeah, she's going to try out different genres until something fits.
Oh yeah, I was going to think, go after another team that has a shtick. Who else has a thing right now that's not like the Riot Squad? Like, who else? What other tag teams have? There is no other women's tag team.
I mean, not on SmackDown. So. I don't know. Oh, yeah, I don't know.
Oh,
maybe she'll just. I don't know. We'll see. Daniel Bryan comes out, cut a promo about the Royal Rumble match, and he's excited. The anticipation. He's done so much in his career, but never won that Rumble. But then Cesaro comes out, cuts a heel promo saying he's going to win the Rumble. So Bryan says, all right, let's just have a match right now. And then Cesaro does a little Dr. Evil. Says, how about no?
How about no?
I already beat you, but I'll issue an open challenge instead. And Dolph Ziggler comes out. So we get Ziggler versus Cesaro. They have a fun little match. Ziggler hits a zigzag, but Cesaro kicks out. And then Sammy's still there protesting. Eventually, Ziggler goes for the Famouser, but Cesaro pops him up midair and then just turns it into the neutralizer, gets the win. Cool little finish there.
Yeah, fantastic finish there. And I gotta say, Mike, this is 2 straight Cesaro victories heading into the moment that can change the professional wrestling calendar for the next months.
Yeah, I mean, he's picking up some steam at a very good time.
Steam has been picked up right when you want it to be picked up.
Yeah, I like it. We've taken notice. So let's see what he can do on Sunday. But
Sunday.
In the meantime, we got a rare intergender match. Sasha Banks taking on Reginald, the sommelier. But, Reg is trying to avoid contact. He pulls out a flower, tries to give it to Sasha. So Sasha slaps him in the face, and then she starts doing like springboards, arm drags, but Reginald landing on his feet. And then at one point, he finally goes after Sasha with a little waist lock, and he just starts flipping all over the place, just doing backflips. He's all over. But eventually, Sasha gets a hold of him, hits some crazy lucha moves and a big meteora to the floor, and I don't know. Eventually, back in the ring, she gets him in the bank statement, taps him out. Sasha wins.
Reginald, the little acrobatic man.
Yeah, apparently he used to work for Cirque du Soleil.
Cirque du Soleil.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess Banks and Carmella still goes on. Didn't need this match, I don't think.
No, but I don't know. I guess as Reginald, he can obviously... He's a wrestler, so he's going to fight someone at some point, it seems.
I mean, I guess. Do you think he's from the he's just like a guy from the PC?
I don't know. He was like taking bumps and stuff and doing some things here.
It's such a weird angle. For us to bring a bodyguard into a feud that's only going to last like a little bit.
And he only like fights women right now.
Very bizarre. Yeah, especially like WWE pretty like broadly and generally shies away from intergender wrestling, so who the heck knows? But I mean, I don't think there was the end of days on Becky Lynch. And then I think that that was such a devastating maneuver. We just haven't seen it. I guess, or was that after the Nia Jax finish fest? No, I think that was after.
Might have been, yeah.
But either way,
they're few and far between.
Few and far between. That's exactly right. And hopefully, if we do get to see them, it's better than this.
Well, I have a feeling we might see it very soon. But in the meantime, let's get an Intercontinental title match. Big E is defending against Apollo Crews. Just a nice big man powerhouse match, but didn't get to last very long as this is when Sami Zayn unhooks himself from his handcuffs, comes down to the ring, hits Apollo, so DQ. That was that. We go backstage, and then the Street Profits approach Sonya Deville, saying they want a rematch for the tag titles. And Sonya says, you know what? You deserve it. But Ford, you're dealing with a leg injury. So for the time being, just hang out. Be funny.
Hang out.
So I guess, I don't know.
Hang
I guess
out,
he is
be
injured.
funny, I guess.
Yeah.
I guess the triple threat that we'll probably get at the Rumble then will be Apollo Crews, Sami Zayn, and Big E. I guess. Cause,
that makes sense. They can book that on Friday.
Yeah, we'll probably need that title on the line in some kind
And that could be a good match.
Of course it could be. Yeah, I just hate it when title matches on TV end in a DQ. I mean, I guess I hate it when all title matches end in a DQ, really. But especially when it's on TV, especially like you're watching SmackDown, you think to yourself like, oh shit, Big E, Apollo Crews title match, this could be good, and then it ends, and then it ends up finishing sloppy.
Yeah,
you can ask for more.
Yeah, we didn't get what we wanted, but maybe you will from this next segment. Because we've got the Ultimate Athlete obstacle course, of course.
The UUOC.
UAOC. We got Bianca Belair taking on Bayley. Bayley's up first. So the first obstacle, you got to flip a giant tire. And then she goes down ringside. There's a very small set of hurdles, which she easily goes over. And then a bunch of wooden walls. And instead of climbing them, she just runs right around them, before proceeding to the Chad Gable station, where she must pick up and fireman's carry Gable from one line to the other. And then to finish it all off, you must shoot a basketball into a hoop. And she gets a final time of 1 minute, 12 seconds. So she's on the clock.
Took way too long.
Took a little while. But then Bianca
Way too long.
Well, let's see if Bianca could do better before you judge her. But before she can even start, Bailey says, wait a minute. Let's EST up this course. So they swap out some of the obstacles, make them harder. We get bigger sized hurdles, but or I guess full size regular hurdles. But Bianca just flies through everything. She's on a roll when she gets to the Gable station. But he says, meet your next challenge. And then Otis comes out. That's a big man. But Belair fucking puts her on her shoulders, carries him across the line. Tremendous strength. I don't even think Nia Jax could do that.
No, absolutely not.
And then to finish it off, she grabs the basketball for the final station. But she's got so much time on the clock, she challenges Bailey to come and try and guard her. But Belair just breaks her ankles and dunks the ball with 17 seconds left. Bianca wins the Ultimate Athlete Challenge. But Bailey's a sore loser and attacks her.
And attacks her anyways. It's going to, I mean, of course, it's going to end in an attack of some kind when the heel loses. Yeah. It was just, I wonder if Bailey took so long to kind of, because it was a 17-second difference, which I feel like would kind of be enough for Bianca to maybe have had to put Otis back down and then like pick him up again, like just in case. Because of course I'm sitting there with my stopwatch. I want to make sure that this is a legitimate competition of athletic prowess.
Yeah.
But yeah, Bianca Belair had to do it, and now a little kind of mid-card feud going on here. Yeah, it's fantastic.
It was that was an impressive feat of strength. Mm-hmm. Carrying that man Otis, and now she knows, or Otis knows, if they're ever in a fire together, she could save his life.
And Chad Gable and Otis still working together, so it's nice to know that we haven't given up on that either.
I mean, Gable's on TV, and he's Chad Gable, so that's definitely way better than where he was last year.
It's better than being Shorty G and not on TV.
Yeah, exactly. And then we get something else that we haven't seen on TV a lot. Dominic Mysterio wrestling again as he's taking on King Corbin. But yeah, it's nice that he's wrestling, but too bad it's against Corbin.
It's the first time we've seen Dominic Mysterio not wearing something utterly ridiculous in about 6.5 months. So that was refreshing to, I almost forgot what his ring gear kind of looked like.
Well, I guess being out of the ring so long had a little ring rust because Corbin hits the end of days, gets the win.
I mean, and Corbin's that guy. If there's one thing we know about Baron Corbin, it's his consistency of work.
He's the gatekeeper of the mid-card.
He really is the gatekeeper. He is the Finn Finley of the women's division.
Oh, well, let's not go too far.
Let's not go too far.
Fit Finley's a legend.
I know. I wonder. I think Baron Corbin's got to be making top dollar for this. I bet his. If we were to know how much these guys get paid, I bet he would be surprisingly high. Because he's in all these matches and he wins and then he loses, then he wins and loses, hops on the mic.
I bet he makes more than a guy like Ricochet who does way more in the ring.
Very much so. Yeah, I mean, hell, we say this every single week. Baron Corbin's on TV every single week. Every single. Did he have did he have his little nights? No, I don't think his nights were here this week. The Forgotten Sons.
Yeah, they haven't really done much with that.
We need a new King of the Ring tournament. But then I just, and then so Baron Corbin can kind of switch to a new gimmick and then continue to be on TV every week.
I guess so. But let's round this off with the main event of the show. Adam Pearce taking on Paul Heyman. So Pearce comes out. He's got his track pants on. He's ready to compete. Heyman comes out, and then he pretends to trip on the steel steps, hurting his ankle. And then he tells Pearce, you know what they say, card subject to change. So Roman Reigns comes out. He gets in the ring. Superman punches Pearce. Pearce tries to fight back, but Roman just beats him around into the crowd of the Thunderdome. He puts him up on that platform that he knocked Owens off a few weeks ago, but then Owens himself appears, attacks Reigns. They brawl. Owens hits a stunner, pop-up powerbomb through the announce table. And that's how we end the show.
And that's got to be the closest thing to a happy ending that we've gotten on SmackDown in a long time. Actually, like Roman Reigns suffering some kind of defeat at the very end. And it was it would have been nice to see Adam Pearce get a few shots in there, because the match was never going to happen.
No, he's Yeah.
It would have been nice to maybe see him get a couple,
They just keep
a
teasing.
couple jabs, but
Maybe a suplex.
a suplex of some kind, neck breaker. But yeah, Roman KO. There we go.
We'll see it on Sunday.
Hey, it's fun to watch.
That was SmackDown.
It's fun to watch, that's for sure.
Yeah, that'll be good. But let's go to Monday Night Raw.
Let's get raw. Let's get raw.
Just that easy. Just that easy to go over there because it's Monday Night Raw. They have the day. The show is not legally allowed to be broadcast on any other day. And by the way, when we say Monday, we mean Monday in the Eastern time zone. So if you are living somewhere else where Monday Night Raw occurs on Tuesday or
Here in Liverpool.
or Sunday.
It don't come on.
Imagine it happens on Sunday. That would be terrible.
Yeah.
Actually, that means all your pay-per-views would be happening on Saturday night. That actually wouldn't be that bad.
Well,
And then your NXT takeovers are happening on Friday. Next thing you know, your Friday and Saturday is just fucking non-stop wrestling.
well, if you live in a different time zone.
Your Dynamite would be on Tuesday. I could do this all day. I could do this all
Let's
day.
just go
But
back.
before we figure out who's where, guess who's back? Drew McIntyre,
Yes, COVID survivor.
Survivor. We can say that now about him.
Yeah, he thanks everybody for the well wishes. He's back. He's looking good. And then he starts talking about his title match coming up against Goldberg, and he promises to remain champion. Then Miz and Morrison come out, interrupt, cut a heel promo. You know, he's still got that money in the bank in his pocket. He's teasing that. But then the real Goldberg comes out this week and gets in Drew's face, tells him he's next. But Miz and Morrison keep jawing at them, so Goldberg and Drew team up and beat the two heels. And then they have a little stare down.
I don't like the little team up. That when they team up for that like little second, I don't like it. And sometimes.
Well, it's not like they did a move together. They
Oh,
just
that
beat
would have
up
been
the guys
terrible.
together.
Yeah, if he did like a spear,
They did like a
claymore.
double super.
Yeah,
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah, surprisingly hot start to the show. I wonder where I feel like the Miz is just being used throughout all this because I still don't feel like he's a threat to this heavyweight championship right now.
Yeah, but when he does cash in, I do want him to win the belt, though.
Yeah, whenever
I
it
just don't know when
does
it's gonna
happen.
Yeah, I mean, unless there's a different champion at the time. But who knows? As of right now, I want to see Miz win the belt again.
Right. Yeah.
But let's just move on to some women's action here. Charlotte Flair taking on Shayna Baszler. Charlotte gets the figure four locked in real early, so Nia Jax just comes in, hits her with a leg drop, causes a DQ. Then they start beating on Charlotte. So Mandy Rose, Dana Brooke come out to help her, and then Lacey Evans runs out. So you know what this all leads to.
I don't know what it all leads to anymore, Mike. I just don't know what anything leads to anymore. Because, see, when I hear Charlotte Flair versus Shayna Baszler, I picture myself in a cozy January of 2020 thinking to myself, this is a fucking pay-per-view main event right here. No, but it's, we're in 2021. Anything can happen. 2 women, 6 women, 8 women. Who cares? We're wrestling. We're wrestling.
We're wrestling. So, yeah, Lacey, Shayna, Nia taking on Charlotte, Mandy, Dana. Match was going all right. Shayna and Charlotte, they fight outside the ring. Shayna rolls Charlotte back in, and then all of a sudden, the refs just reached the count of 10. And Shayna's counted out. She just lost for her
Was
team.
that a botched count out?
Sources say that may have been a botched
It
count
felt
out.
like a botched count.
That she was supposed to get back
I
in,
don't
but-
need to hear AC Dirt talk about it. I don't need to go down to the dirt corner. What the fuck was that?
Yeah, so we go to commercial break. We come back. The ladies are yelling at Adam Pearce, so he restarts the match. The winners are like, fine, bring it on. Let's restart. Dana Brooke's in the ring. She hits a nice twisting neck breaker. Big near fall. But then Nia Jax picks up poor Dana Brooke into this power bomb thing that she turns into like a one-arm choke slam, but just looks real rough as she just slams Dana down hard, nearly on her head. Just more Nia, man. I didn't like that.
I didn't like that one either.
No. Just reckless from Nia, and then she follows that up with a big leg drop, gets a 3 count for the heel team. But yeah, it's a rough landing. Hopefully Dana Brooke's fine. I haven't heard anything.
Yeah, Nia's the worst.
She really is.
Nia Jax is the worst. It's just, I don't know if you're booked wrong, or if the character you're presenting is wrong, or the character in which they tell you to be is wrong. But nothing is. There's just. When your finisher is Hulk Hogan's finisher, like, what the fuck? This is 2021. What the fuck are you doing here? Have you ever seen Chris Statlander land a fucking tombstone pile driver? Like, that looks sick. Let's do that.
And it's like we said about Bianca Belair. Like, Belair is actually strong. Nia's so big, but she's not. She's weak.
Well, and especially size. I feel like Nia Jax is constantly booked like a Big Show or Kane, right? or like a Diesel. Like no one can knock them down. No one can eliminate them from Rumble type matches, or to all gang up on each other. Like that type of large physicality. Mm-hmm. Which she can't necessarily match with her offense. Like the defense they book for her is like 100%, but the offense they book for her is never anything like too special. And because like, what does that mean? We're going to see probably Nia Jax get that group elimination on Sunday, or she sits there and just starts banging out bodies and finishes with like Braun Strowman level eliminations. It's just like, I don't know what the problem is, if it's her or her booking.
It's definitely, it's her, and the booking her in a prominent position is also
so bizarre. Yeah, I don't quite know what they see with this.
They see Samoan blood, cousin of The Rock. They love their Samoans. They want to push them all.
Got to push them all. Got to push them all.
Yeah. Yeah, that was that.
Yeah, that was that.
Let's just move right along, because Slapjack is taking on Xavier Woods. Slapjack was looking good, getting some help from Retribution, but Woods hits the big Shining Wizard, picks up the win. So the first loss for Retribution in a while. But they all gang up, beat down Xavier. Mustafa Ali grabs a chair. He's ready to smack him with it, but instead he just unfolds it, sits down, because he wants to deliver a message to Kofi. He heard that Kofi's not going to be in the Royal Rumble this year, but replacement's been found, and his name is Mustafa Ali. So good for Ali. If anyone in Retribution deserves a spot, it's him.
Yeah, of course. I did like his little, in his pre-match promo, his Kofi, his thing he said, like, Kofi Mania happened at my expense.
Oh, yeah.
That was a good line. Right. I was like, whoo, you're fucking right.
Yeah, we remember.
We never forget 9/11. We will never forget.
Yeah. Rest in peace, Selena Vega's father.
Yeah.
He was in the towers.
Jesus.
Isn't that crazy? It's a true story.
True story.
Hurt Business come out to host the VIP lounge. And a funny little botch. I don't know if you noticed during the entrance, Shelton came out. He was still wearing his face mask.
I did, but I assumed that it was on purpose.
No, he takes it off and he goes, "Oh shit!" And you see him.
Oh, okay.
I
did see that. Well, have you noticed certainly on AEW, sometimes people have them on and sometimes they don't. Certainly like backstage officials sort of will have them on. But I sort of figured, well, I guess no. If Vince McMahon owns the company, it's not optional at that point. You have to take it off.
Well, for camera appearances. Okay. But at least it shows that backstage Shelton is, protecting himself and others.
As they all should be.
Yeah. But it was kind of funny. They all just smirked and laughed on the way down. But anyways, they get in the ring, cut a promo. 3 of them, of the 4, are going to be in a gauntlet match later against Riddle. And if Riddle wins, he gets a U.S. title shot. But MVP's got some words for Cedric Alexander, saying you need to stay in your lane, bro. But then Lashley tells MVP, hey, man, the 3 of us were all dripping in gold, and we wanted to get you something to match. And they present him with this big gold diamond chain that just says THB, the Hurt Business, of course. Mm-hmm. And then R-Truth comes out to interrupt. He gets chased off by the Gaggle, featuring Tucker.
Yeah, who else is in the Gaggle these days?
I mean, your Gulak's always there. Your Tozawa. Yeah.
Tucker with
I mean-
his shaved beard. Like, it's
Just,
kind of like...
yeah, just his weird sweaty track pants look.
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyways, this whole commotion, Riddle shows up, hits MVP with a big knee, and runs off. We'll get that gauntlet later.
Yeah, we are going to get the gauntlet later. Imagine, do you think they get called? Do you think, Tozawa or Tucker gets called into work that day being like, hey, we've got you in the gaggle? Or do you think it's or do you think you show up at work and then they tell you what you're doing? Do you think you get there knowing that you're just going to kind of run in with R-Truth and then chase him out?
I think for the most part, you show up and then you're told what's going
You're
on.
told what's going on. Okay, so you show up
Yeah.
thinking you may be in the main event taking on Roman Reigns.
You could think
You
that.
could, I don't know. Okay.
You know? Yeah.
So all you have to go on is last week's booking, and it seems like the direction we're going in. And then it's
Yeah, I mean, sometimes obviously they book matches in advance, but yeah. And we've heard many stories of Vince McMahon. He'll just tear up the script 2 hours before the show goes on the air. So even if you think you know what you're doing, you got to learn something new.
And then do you get paid for that day? If you show up, let's say, and
I think you're
they
just
have
salary
something for
employee.
you.
You're just always getting paid no matter what.
Yeah.
If sometimes you're just not on TV, sometimes they do tell people. I think right now, Aleister Black is just sitting at home getting paid to do nothing.
Oh, so it is a salary, not a per appearance like it used to be.
No.
Okay.
But I think there are bonuses, like ticket gates and shit like that.
Right,
but
and probably
you're guaranteed a certain
merchandise of
amount no
some
matter what.
kind, and
Yeah. But back in the day, yeah, it was definitely more in line with.
yeah, it was like Hulk.
It's like, well, we made $300,000 tonight. You get your cut of 5.
Or yeah, or Hulk. He does 70 shows a year and gets paid
Yeah,
X
things like
amount. Yeah, it's more shit like that. I get it.
Yeah. But then we go to Sheamus taking on John Morrison. A nice, rare singles endeavor for Morrison these days,
Ooh.
but nice to see. He always looks good doing his parkour.
Doing just parkouring around, cool shit.
But eventually, Sheamus catches him with the white noise, gets the win. And then after Miz is yelling at Sheamus, says, hey, man, let's do a handicap match right now. So we just jump right in. Mizmo taking on Sheamus. Sheamus does his best against the two, but eventually Miz hits the skull-crushing finale, gets the pin.
Yeah, I guess you got Sheamus going for the challenge as the big guy. But yeah, it seems weird. I don't know. I don't think they had to do it.
I don't know Sheamus, they were kind of teasing. Is he going to go after Drew? What's he going to do? I don't know.
Yeah, we already know Sheamus is a tough guy, so why did we need to see him lose? I don't know. Seemed like a weird one, but you're right.
Yeah. But then we go backstage where Ric Flair and Lacey Evans, they're practicing some wrestling holds, some compromising positions there. When Charlotte walks in and Rick tells her, or she's just staring daggers at Rick, Lacey kind of walks out and Rick tells her, I'll always have a place in this locker room. I'm always going to be me. Charlotte says, always be you? You mean the man who was always spending money on everyone except his family? I'm not the bad guy. When I was young, this was cute. I'm the only one protecting you now. You've gone from legend to old man. Yeah, so she's a little heelish from Charlotte here.
Oh, well, no, I was going to say the other way around, right? Because if your dad starts flirting with a kind of coworker slash,
What,
peer,
can you blame him? I think
that-
Lacey's reciprocating just as much as Rick. you know?
Okay. No, I was going to say though, I think this is our angle to make Charlotte the baby face.
Well, I don't know. She's being pretty mean to
Old
Ric
Rick.
Flair. I mean, Rick is being a dirty old man, but I think at this point, that's just his.
Yeah, who's
That's his
writing this
character.
dirty old man angle right now?
Yeah. He's like, I pay alimony to 4 different women if I want to fool around with a 30-something.
With a 30-something married ex-veteran with a daughter.
Yeah. And pass on some advice along the way.
I think
To the future, Jen.
that adds it adds an oddity element to it that maybe kayfabe didn't have before it existed. But the knowledge that somebody is married or with a partner, especially when they have children, It makes
Yeah.
certain angles feel weird. Does that make sense? You know, I'm sure, like, let's say, you know, like if you're a fan of Lacey Evans, you know, you follow her on Twitter, Instagram, whatever it is, you probably see all the photos of her and her family, and then like right beside a photo of Ric Flair feeling her up. It feels a little weird.
That's wrestling.
That's wrestling, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, we've seen her daughter on TV.
Oh yeah.
Remember when she was feuding with?
Right?
who was
Wasn't she
feuding with?
dressed up like Lacey Evans?
I think she just looks like her
Oh,
mom.
they just look.
naturally.
They just look. I remember like I thought they were like dressed up to look kind of similar.
I mean, they probably. Yeah, she probably had like a little nice dress on.
Yeah,
or
did
something.
it up a little bit.
I
Yeah.
forget who she was feuding with. Maybe it was Charlotte. Maybe Charlotte was the
Becky?
heel back then, and she was. I don't know, because if her daughter was involved, you'd think Lacey would be a babyface, right? I think it was during her brief, like, I'm a mother and I'm a former Marine.
Oh yeah, that phase.
Her little babyface run.
The old Lacey Evans babyface run. We'll never forget it.
Yeah. But let's move along here. R-Truth taking on AJ Styles. Bit of a mismatch, but Truth, he's fighting for a spot in the Rumble as AJ appears to be the gatekeeper on Raw. You know, he's already thwarted Drew Gulak and Ricochet in their attempts to qualify. And he does the same to Truth here. You know, he reverses the AA into the calf crusher, gets the win.
Yeah, you're right. He sort of seems like he's the locker room leader right now, and really, he is one of the older, more seasoned veterans, not only on the planet but certainly on Monday Night Raw. He deserves to have that role. He should be the fucking gatekeeper. He's like 40 something.
No,
Give
I like
it
it.
to him.
Yeah, exactly. Fair enough, Truth. You got to earn your spot, and you didn't. So
Exactly. Go fuck yourself, Archer.
you got your 24/7 title. You can fool around with that.
Yeah, be the most championship holding person ever.
Then we cut to another, just the tortured, burnt face Randy. And then we cut to the Alexa Bliss in her playground, and she's talking to the Invisible Man again, just recapping everything that's gone on. And we get some hype for her women's title match against Asuka for the main event later.
Yeah, the little bit of the recap, a little recap segment. We do see her later on. Yes, we do.
Yeah, we'll get some more from that. But in the meantime, let's get this gauntlet match, because we
Yeehaw.
always love a good gauntlet. A bit of a mini gauntlet this time, but Riddle taking on Hurt Business. Starts off Riddle against Shelton Benjamin. So, some good back and forth grappling here. Shelton himself, a collegiate wrestling athlete. But eventually, Riddle rolls up Shelton. Cedric distracts the ref, but then Shelton reverses the pin, so he goes to yell at Cedric. Riddle takes advantage, rolls him up gets a 3 on Shelton.
The old was it a roll up?
Or victory roll is what it
Okay,
was.
yeah, I was about to say I don't want
A more fancy roll up.
a fancy roll
Yeah.
up.
But then MVP's up next to take on Riddle. But MVP's just bickering with the other Hurt Business members. So Riddle grabs him from behind, locks in a heel hook, gets a quick tap out. So MVP's out. So Cedric, the final man here, him and Riddle, these two actually get to have a nice little match here. Sequence, just reversals, bunch of fun stuff going on until Riddle hits another victory roll, gets a 3. It's working for him. He wins the gauntlet.
3 for 3.
Gets a U.S. title shot.
3 up, 3 down.
Yeah, 3 up, 3 down. U.S. title shot against Bobby Lashley. Speaking of, Bobby comes out at the end, attacks Riddle from behind.
It was fantastic to see Mike, and we say this every single week, wanting a championship.
Yeah, the U.S. title. I mean, Riddle's kind of been mixed up with Lashley for a little bit here, so who knows? He could even win the damn thing on Sunday.
And running through a gauntlet like this, that proves how much maybe you want something.
Yes, and deserve.
And
At least a shot at
could deserve it. Yeah, I mean, it's that whole championship's just floundering right now.
But then we cut to a backstage promo from Edge, who talks about the wild 2020 he had, his big return, his feud with Randy, his injury.
The greatest wrestling match ever?
Yeah, which did end up being pretty damn good. But, he's getting older every day. The window's closing. So he's promising to win the Rumble, main event WrestleMania one last time, and win back that world title that he never lost. So he's in the match.
Hey,
No surprise this year.
Perfect.
Yeah, I'm down. He's all healed up.
All healed up and ready to go.
But let's go to this main event, because we were promised a Raw Women's Championship match. Asuka defending against Alexa Bliss. So we start with the smiley Alexa Playground version. And then the supernatural stuff just starts happening. Rocking Horse appears in the middle of the ring. And, we get some regular wrestling, though. They're going back and forth. Asuka gains the upper hand, but then Alexa transforms briefly into her old Harley Quinn self, the pre-Bray Wyatt Alexa. And then she just acts all scared and confused, and Asuka doesn't know what the fuck's going on. So she lunges at Bliss, but then Alexa avoids her, goes to the corner, and transforms again, this time into the dark version, the black lipstick, the hair buns. So Asuka comes at her, hits some big strikes, but Bliss is just blocking them with, looking unfazed. Asuka tries to get her in the armbar, but Bliss overpowers her. She's got the mandible claw locked in. Asuka's in big trouble here. About to lose her title when the burnt face Randy Orton appears. No mask on. His face is all red, all fucked up.
It just looks like he had a little chemical peel. That's about all,
I mean, that hurts. Burns hurt. Burns hurt more than cuts. But, someone else is going to get hurt because he hits Alexa Bliss with a big RKO. No protection here. That was man-on-woman violence. And I don't even think we get a DQ. We just kind of end the show there. No finish. I was kind of wanting to see Bliss to win the belt there.
Yeah, I'm going to assume it was a DQ. I bet if were to look officially,
by the rules,
because of...
The ref probably just got the fuck out of there.
Exactly.
But it was a good RKO. Alexa took it very well.
Well, if someone's going to hit an RKO, it's going to be Randy Randman Orton. Who will be doing the natural progression, right? That was if Randy is coming back for the Fiend Bray Wyatt, he's gonna have to obviously hit Alexa Bliss with the RKO. My biggest thing from this, Mike, and I had a little bit of an inkling of this last week, or maybe it was the week prior, but I kind of wanted to see it out. Maybe see where something's going, and I don't know, and it just feels there's certain parts of this Alexa Bliss character which feels kind of weird to me. And when I say weird, I mean more like I'm worried there's some kind of fetish element going on, especially with the Alexa Bliss Playground version of this character, like taking a grown woman, putting her in children's clothes, giving her pigtails and a smile. It feels kind of weird for something to do to, again, like a grown woman. And I don't know. It's a weird way because it doesn't feel like the Funhouse thing anymore. Like Bray Wyatt when he was presenting himself as Bray Wyatt in the Funhouse, he didn't present himself as a little boy, wearing children's clothes with a child's haircut. And it feels weird that it's happening to Alexa Bliss and not him.
I mean, Bliss has always had that same hair style thing.
Yeah, I'm thinking more like now, because now it's like the little overalls and the little T-shirt.
Yeah, I mean, it's by design, but I don't think it's any sort of fetish reason.
Okay, well, yeah, it does. There's something weird to me. I don't know. It just feels weird of taking a grown woman and putting her in children's clothes.
I mean, that's like all the if you watch Treehouse, all the adults on those shows dress weird and like the big comfy couch, shit like that.
Right. So it is really trying to hammer that home, not this weird, this kind of weird thing.
I mean, there are people that are into it, I'm sure, and that are loving it.
Because, the Bray Wyatt character is not presented as a child. And I feel like when we see Alexa Bliss swinging on a playground, talking to an imaginary friend, that feels like it's something a child is doing, not a grown woman. You know what I'm saying? The Fiend is... I
mean, Funhouse Bray does childish things and, makes googly eyes.
Childish
and does weird things like that.
You're right. Childish things.
And, I don't know, putting his hand over his mouth.
Yeah, that's all I'm going to right now, and that's just kind of I'm hoping that I can.
I think you're the one fetishizing here, and you're the one with the issue here.
I'm hoping I can see this character as not being a kid. I think that's what it is, and hopefully this can go on and we can get past it because, Alexa Bliss isn't as scary as the Fiend is for me right now. You know, like that Fiend mandible claw, that's like, oh shit, that's taking people down. But like a little Alexa Bliss Fiend mandible claw, I'm like, like it doesn't feel as scary. Maybe because she's not as physically imposing. She certainly doesn't feel like she can take down Asuka.
I don't know. I bought in there. I thought she had the match won.
Well, hey, if you bought in, I guess that's all you need.
Yeah. But one thing they won't be able to do once the crowd comes back, they won't be able to do these live transformations. So they'll have to pick either Evil Alexa or Playground Alexa to stick to it the whole match.
Yeah. You're gonna have to pick one of them. So I guess maybe they're gonna try to take as much of the playground as they can now before they're like, okay, we can't keep switching.
Yeah, but we'll see. We'll see which version of Alexa shows up at the Rumble.
Yeah, you think? Oh yeah, she's in the Rumble because she won the match. Like
she announced it
2 weeks ago or whatever, right?
Yeah, so that's okay. She still has a chance to win that belt.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. But of course, it's coming up on Sunday. Mike, should we take a break?
Let's take a break.
Let's take a break. We'll come back because, of course, we still have Wednesday night and we still have the Rumble to talk about. So stick around.
Let's shoot, yeah, let's shoot, yeah, let's shoot, brother, yeah, let's shoot, yeah, let's shoot, yeah, let's shoot, brother, yeah.
Back here with part 2, folks, the Wednesday night portion.
Mm-hmm. Remember that month when they were not on Wednesday? Every week, one of the shows had to get switched.
What? When with Dynamite and NXT?
Yeah, remember there was Saturday Night Dynamite. And
right, I remember
Tuesday
it was
night.
some kind of basketball.
I guess it was probably during the playoffs last year.
Rescheduling, yeah, it was something like that. And I definitely remember a Dynamite that started at 10:30 p.m. instead of whatever its time was. And I don't remember why the NXT one moved away.
I don't know. There was a couple weeks where, for whatever reason, they were both just all over the place.
Yeah, so I guess in those particular weeks, they each won. NXT won the Wednesday Night War that week because there was no Wednesday Night War to be won.
Exactly.
So let's get to that Wednesday Night War then, shall we? Let's kick off with Hunter's little dreamscape, as I like to call it around my house. We're talking about NXT.
NXT, what does it mean? I don't know, but it's some good wrestling. So NXT, watch and see. Gotta tap out a count out of 1, 2, 3. So
The little Hot Wheel that could.
Yeah, the little engine that could, because this is where Hunter Hearst Helmsley gets to just live out his biggest dreams of booking a wrestling company.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. He's got a lot of good talent to work with, so let's just jump right in here because we got Dusty Rhodes Cup Classic. I don't know. They call it both.
They call it a couple things every couple weeks. I'm like, I just go with it.
Yeah, we all know what we're talking about. The trophy with the big set of boots. Let's just get right into it. Drake Maverick and Killian Dane taking on MSK, who had an impressive debut the other week. Looking good again here. But Dane and Drake, working well together. Drake, I think he's been doing this for a little while now, though, wearing the jeans to match with Killian.
Yeah, it's been a few months, I think.
Yeah.
Whenever they originally aligned, however many months ago.
But anyways, MSK looking great. They hit this really cool move. I think they might have done it last week, but where the one guy does a moonsault, but he's not near his opponent, and then the other partner just pushes him midair. So he's backflipping and moving, and I don't know, crazy timing and trust between these two.
Yeah, that's a good one. We've seen that one before.
Yeah, love it. A little bit after that, they hit their finisher, the spine buster, blockbuster thing. I'm going to call it the up and over. And that gets them the win. So very impressive. 2 weeks in a row for MSK. I'm liking what I see so far.
Yeah, 2 weeks in a row, the timing with the Dusty Cup and just what we've heard other people, or sort of the hype that they had coming into NXT, we can only assume they're at least going to the finals.
Yeah, and maybe even all the way. But at the very least, they're making it to the semifinals right now. And I like it. I think this Dusty Cup, this whole thing's kind of going to rejuvenate the tag division a little bit. We're going to bring in some new teams. We're going to see some other teams go far that you might not expect.
And that's what a tournament can do, though, if booked properly. And, on the other side, we're seeing this kind of fucking women's division tournament that I don't know how it's being booked yet, or, sometimes we would see things all over the place. Yeah, there's put it in the, kick off the show with it. That's a great way to put it, right in front of our faces. We love a good tournament.
Yeah. Well, let's follow up with some first-round women's Dusty Cup action here as we get Raquel Gonzalez and Dakota Kai teaming up against Aaliyah and Jessie Kamea. And, we mentioned him last week. I forgot you existed. Well, he's back, Mr. Robert Stone, representing his brand. He's back on TV at ringside, so nice to see him.
Yeah, who knew that he would have been coming back into the mix right after we spoke about him, but there he is.
Yeah, speaking of coming into the mix, I think Dakota Kai was mixing some new purple hair dye in there. Looking pretty cool.
Okay. I must
You
have
didn't
missed
notice?
that. I don't think so.
Well, she heard about the shooty. She wants a piece of that 2021 action. Yeah, looking good, her hair. But anyways, Kamea and Aaliyah looking good together, showing some nice chemistry. They put up a good fight, but eventually Raquel gets a hold of Kamea, hits her big one-arm power bomb to get the 3 count. And you notice how Raquel does basically the same move Nia Jax did, but 100% safer.
Yeah, it's literally that exact same move. It's that a single arm power bomb, which put
But
away.
Raquel actually has the strength to hold them and do it properly.
I mean, and that was the same maneuver that put away Io Shirai at War Games. Right onto that, I think. Right onto that devastating
onto the middle
part of the ring. It's becoming a pretty cool move, and she's certainly strong enough to. Didn't we do this last week where Raquel Gonzalez she's 5'7"? But comparatively, they're
her
all
and Mercedes
so
are
much smaller.
Yeah, it's funny.
That's so funny. Which, this is weird though, because I thought, especially coming out of War Games, I thought Raquel Gonzalez's path would be leading to
the title,
the championship. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, sooner than later, but in the meantime, she could have a really good. I mean, still looking strong here. They could make it to the finals of this thing. See what happens.
And does the winner of this tournament get a shot at the women's tag championship?
I mean, I would hope so, because the men's tournament leads to a tag title shot.
Yeah, because I don't remember them announcing what's at stake.
I mean, this could be the way to finally bring the titles to NXT that we've been asking
and
years
keep
for.
them there. Fucking
keep them there for a long time.
Do you think Vince McMahon remembers that they exist?
He's aware, but he probably doesn't pay much attention.
He knows what's going on.
Yeah. He's like, the green-haired girl, the purple-haired girl.
Yeah. So it's so difficult to remember.
The Asian girl.
Yeah, well, that's probably.
He'd probably say something more offensive. Right? But let's continue here. There's just some Scarlett cutting a promo with tarot cards. I didn't pay much attention.
Yeah, I missed that too.
I'm sure you did. Yeah, wasn't much going on.
Okay.
Tyler Rust taking on Danny Garcia. Rust just makes quick work of this Garcia guy, locks in a cool submission, gets the win. So he's kind of quietly getting a little mini push here.
We've at least his name at least gets mentioned at least once on the show over the past couple of weeks. So that's a push as far as I'm concerned.
Something. He looks like a skinnier version of Riddle to me or something.
Oh yeah, a little skinny Matt Riddle with a ponytail.
But then we get some Dusty Cup second round action here. The Grizzled Young Vets taking on Kushida and Leon Ruff. So little Leon, he was just zipping all over the place, tap dancing on the top ropes. Just Grizzled Young Vets, though, they come back, hit a big Doomsday device, the tribute to the Road Warriors. And then soon after, they hit Ruff with a ticket to Mayhem, and that gives them the win. Moving on to the semifinals. And then I think afterwards, Gargano and Austin Theory just run out, beat up Kushida and Ruff some more. And then Dexter Lumis appears at ringside and just scares him off.
Yeah, just does his thing. Right?
He's
because Kushida needs to move on to Johnny Gargano. Because, of course, Johnny Gargano is the North American champion right now.
Yeah, and I think at this point, they have established that's going to be the title match.
Fantastic, because they have the unnamed Valentine's Day pay-per-view, right?
Yeah, that's the perfect time to Kushida Gargano and maybe even give Kushida the belt.
Ooh.
But we'll get to that in a couple weeks. In the meantime, we cut backstage where Kurt Stallion has been attacked. Says it was Legato. So Regal is pissed. He storms into the dressing room. He was
I've
very
never
angry
seen
here.
him this mad.
Yeah, like I've seen worse infractions that have not made Angle this mad.
Yeah.
Regal, but he tells Escobar if this happens again, there's going to be some serious consequences. So he storms out, and then Escobar picks up his cruiserweight belt, but then finds a tarot card underneath, which kind of confused me. I'm like, is this have something to do with Karrion Kross?
Yeah, because he's the creepy guy that we have going right now, unless it has something to do with Xia Li and her kind of crew.
But I mean, we saw Scarlett earlier with the same tarot cards. That's what I thought.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Unless, I thought it was either.
I don't know. The whole thing was weird because I don't know why would Karrion be messing with the cruiserweight guys. I don't think he's under 205, is he?
Probably not. But
Unless he's another
I don't
one
know.
that's not as
Karrion
tall as he
Kross and fucking Escobar. That could be.
I mean,
I
it
don't
could
know.
be something interesting.
That could
Definitely
be. That could be kind of like that Lesnar Mysterio match that we wanted, not the one that we
Yeah.
got. You know. Really interesting.
Yeah, it was still pretty good. I like the Mysterio. Mm-hmm. I bet that double Dominic splash.
Well, we all got worked about Dom.
Woo! It was fun. Brock Lesnar, he can always work you in a match, whether you want him to win. or
God
not.
damn it, Brock! You son of a bitch.
Yeah. But then Tony Storm comes out, cutting a promo on Io Shirai, and when I want something, I make it happen. Last week, you took away my opportunity to win the Dusty Cup, so I'm going to take your title away from you. So Io comes out, says, I'll fight you anywhere. And I made it clear, I don't like you. And then they start swinging. Io dumps Tony to the floor, but then Mercedes Martinez shows up. She just attacks Io, picks up the belt, but Tony wants it. She grabs the belt. Everyone's brawling. I think at the end, Tony's the one left standing tall.
Somehow, yeah. I don't know how she was the one to end up.
Yeah,
tall.
I don't know. Triple threat, Valentine's Day. That sounds good.
Yeah. Tony Storm needs to make her presence known here in NXT after, she came over and I feel like it was hot. But then since War Games, we kind of cooled off a little bit. So why not bring it back?
Yeah, let's have a big women's title match.
Also, I am checking here, Mike, between Karrion Kross and Santos Escobar. A lot of history down there in AAA. A lot of AAA wrestling, and not only in 6-man tag, steel cage matches.
Do you have Karrion Kross's weight?
They have him at 265.
I don't believe that, but I think he is more than 205.
I don't believe that. He's definitely more than 205 pounds. That's for sure.
Do you think he's two? I think maybe 235, 240.
Yeah, it's tough to gauge, right? I need to see him. Okay, if I could see Karrion Kross standing beside, 2011 LeBron James, that would be my because I can very much go like 6'8", 260. Like that's one where I can go like.
What about
6'8",
next to Brock Lesnar?
Yeah,
He's
I
not
guess
Brock.
give me
He's
like
not Brock
UFC,
Lesnar.
UFC 300 Brock. Like I need to see them side by
Well, I
side.
think any Brock. I mean, I think Brock is one of the few guys where when I see him live. We've seen him live. When he comes out to the arena, you feel the presence.
Massive. Well, all I was gonna say was, if it was
The room gets thicker when Brock Lesnar's in
if
it.
it was the day of a UFC pay-per-view, or certainly the weigh-in, we would have empirical proof of how big he is, and then we would have his height, and then we could just kind of stand him beside Karrion Kross, and then we could get all of our angles and stuff.
But he would normally weigh more than he does at the weigh-in, anyways, when he's actually fighting.
Well, that's why we get either the weigh-in or we take the fighting weight with our added kind of like 15 pounds or anything.
We're getting off the rails here.
Hey, you
as
asked.
we like to do. It's fun. It's fun. I like it. But let's go to Isaiah Swerve Scott taking on Bronson Reed. Swerve gets some offense, hits a nice 450 splash, but Reed is too strong. He's Godzilla. He hits the tsunami, gets the win.
I think I also noticed this the colossal Bronson Reed. Was
Is that what they're calling him?
Did you?
Yeah, he's doing the whole. He's got the jacket with the Godzilla. I guess they're doing this whole. He's bigger than skyscrapers.
Yeah, because I think we have gotten rid of our thick boy gimmick now. I think that was kind of like babyface.
He doesn't
Now
seem
maybe
that-
we've moved on. But
Yeah.
Colossal Bronson Reed, big motherfucker.
Yeah, getting a couple wins in a
You know,
row here.
When I was watching this match, I gotta say, Bronson Reed, Samoa Joe. I think that would be a fun, big, heavy-hitting, athletic
I'd
match.
love to see any Samoa Joe match. I feel like it's been. Has he
Yeah,
even
it's been.
wrestled? Did he wrestle in 2020 at all?
I don't know. That's a good question.
I don't know.
Sources. He certainly does a lot of commentary.
Indeed, he does.
We have February 10th on a Monday Night Raw. He was on the losing end along with Eric Ivar and Kevin Owens. Lost to Seth, Murphy, Occam, and Razor. So, yeah, it was almost like a whole...
Almost a year.
Yeah.
Almost been a full
Almost
year.
an entire year. His
I
last,
miss you, Joe.
His last singles win was September 2nd, 2019.
Woo. Woof. Yeah. That's
August 20th. Okay, his last win on TV was August 19th.
Okay. Either way,
Jesus
much too long.
Christ.
But then we get a sit-down promo from Tommaso Ciampa, Timothy Thatcher, who have become friends after bonding in the fight pit. Mm-hmm. And we find out that they're going to team up against Adam Cole and Roderick Strong in the Dusty Cup action next week. But it's the second round. So are you wondering, did you miss something?
I didn't, because I had heard prior, it sort of popped up somewhere that they had been airing a bunch of these matches on 205 Live.
Yeah, so I don't remember hearing that last week, but over the course of this week I found that out. So I'm like, okay. Yeah, 'cause some
And
of these
I
matches
only
have-
found this out because if we can recall recent NXT signee, formerly known as Priscilla Kelly, now known as Gigi Dolan, I think, it was through those outlets where she had announced that she had a match on 205 Live as part of the Dusty Cup. And I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, so we'll just mention that. Gigi Dolan teamed up with Cora Jade, and they were defeated by Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell on 205 Live. So, yeah, too bad for them losing in their first match. Didn't even get to see them because I'm not watching 205 Live.
Well, here's what I'm thinking right now. As soon as I saw, and then of course, yeah, we do get this Timothy Thatcher and Tommaso Ciampa matchup. I think Trips is going to turn 205 Live into NXT Dark. Use the space and time to keep promoting their people, have them getting wins before coming over. And Adam Cole said it best last week, right? Like, NXT is the fucking main roster. You ask Gargano, you ask Ciampa, you ask all the people.
Yeah.
This is the A show. The A show will need a B show, and why not have it be a retooled 205?
Yeah, I'd be fine with that. Change the name up then, because it's no longer focused on just cruiserweights and 205.
However, so much of that division would just fit in seamlessly with a lot of these performers here on the main roster of NXT.
Yeah, I mean, let them, don't make it like Raw and SmackDown where they're separate. You can have it like Dark and Dynamite where they can just be on one show and then the other.
Dark and Dynamite, baby! Dark and Dynamite!
But yeah, so that first round, Candice and Indy move on, and then Ciampa and Thatcher, they defeated Tony Nese and Arya Daivari. And Ciampa and Thatcher weren't even supposed to be in it. They replaced Ashanti the Adonis and Desmond Troy, who were injured. Kayfabe. So, anyways, all that happened on 205 Live. Just for the people know.
Just for the people who care. Just for the people who care. But yeah, so let's keep we'll keep our eye close on that, because it could turn into some kind of other outlet for talent.
Yeah. Either way, I say already I'm enjoying this year's Dusty Cup more than the last couple. Feels more important this year. Or just, I don't know, the teams, everything's going well.
It feels
so far.
important. I mean, of course, certainly those last few rounds, or, the last kind of rounds, the finals or semifinals and the finals are where we want to be, and there's going to be some great stuff. God, I will never forget that fucking Roderick Strong heel turn. And that happened during the Dusty. I'll never forget when Roderick Strong joined the Undisputed
Such a
Era.
perfectly executed moment.
It was perfect, man. It was perfect. And
it's almost hard to think of NXT or pre-Undisputed NXT Roddy. Because, what was he doing? He had, no character.
Yeah, he was in that War Games match, the first War Games match, as a member of the Authors of Pain kind of team.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then, his allegiance with Pete Dunne, which brought him into the Dusty Cup, and that's when he hit that fucking neck breaker on him, and you're Adam Cole, because he came out like later on in the show and he was all bandaged up. Adam Cole's great at doing the bandaged up thing. He puts like a tensor bandage around his stomach and then just kind of holds it gently. He's great at that gig. Okay, now we're really off topic.
Well, let's get to this main event then. We got Oney Lorcan and Danny Burch taking on the uneasy allies, Finn Balor, Kyle O'Reilly. I think throughout the night they're just kind of doing promos. And, there's tension, but there's mutual respect between them.
Mutual respect.
But we get down to it. We get some good tag wrestling here. Kyle and Finn working good together. Finn gets targeted for a while and then makes the hot tag to O'Reilly. So he starts running wild. And then Danny Burch comes flying at him with a missile drop kick off the top rope. But then Kyle catches him midair in this nice leg lock and gets the tap out victory. So Kyle O'Reilly and Balor, nice little win, cool little finish there.
Yeah, cool little finish right there. It sucks that they're the champions though, and they lose. Like it really makes me feel like it's we are in that like they're super placeholders. Especially after if these two guys who broke each other's jaws can come together and take you down. Like this was a little bit worse than that Drew McIntyre Goldberg thing, I thought. Just because exactly that. Like these guys should be beating the shit out of me. Like you just broke my jaw, dog. I'm not going to find myself alongside you. That being said, what's next for Finn Balor?
Well, afterwards Pete Dunne shows up and then they all just beat those guys down. So maybe he still wants in on that title picture.
Yeah. Pete Dunne and Peter Dune and Finn Balor is the exact reason I think why Finn Balor kind of came down to NXT to not only freshen up the main event, but to give all these brand new matches that viewers haven't seen before. And Balor Dune is just another one of those, just like Balor O'Reilly was, and just like Balor and Karrion Kross will be.
And I think a while ago we were promised Balor versus Walter, but we never got it because
Balor Walter is gonna rock the fucking house. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like
title versus title.
Yeah, there's so much hope on the line here for and kind of in the future of NXT, especially going like they don't have a fucking calendar. These guys don't have a fucking calendar. They're not on a road to anywhere.
No,
we just go.
Yeah. We go, and we end the show. Finn kind of stands tall with Undisputed Era for a bit, and then he gets out of the ring. He's like, I'm not one of you.
Yeah,
I'm not one of you.
Because he's not. That was fantastic. What another great edition of NXT.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. Let's just jump on over to the world of All Elite Wrestling. On TNT, we got Dynamite.
AEW. All Elite. They coming for you, Vince. Better watch out. It's too sweet.
It's a whole world,
It is. It's a self-contained, martial law.
Down there in Jacksonville, anything can go.
Pretty much.
Much.
Florida.
Just this hotbed of craziness where we throw all these professional wrestlers in just to see what happens. We kick off this week's show actually with a match that's been building since May 25th of 2020.
Wow.
Of course, you may remember that as as Double or Nothing, specifically the Casino Battle Royal.
Yeah.
Where Eddie Kingston and Lance Archer met face to face. But here we are.
And Archer, wasn't he the Joker or the wild card?
Yeah, he was the Joker of the of that match. All those sorts of things.
Was that the one with the controversial finish?
Well, that was the one where, Eddie Kingston said, like, hey, I was never eliminated.
Went through the ropes.
Yeah, see, so of course this is Lance Archer coming back to a match which Eddie Kingston believes he won.
Yeah, so, yes, they do have history, like you said. But during Archer's entrance, he sends Jake the Snake to the back. Says, I don't need you, Jake. I want to do this clean. So we just get a nice, physical, hard-hitting match here. Archer, his whole chest and face were just raw, lots of chops. Stiff punches.
Some ground pork all over the place.
Oh, yeah. Late in the match, Butcher and Blade come running out, and they've got Jake Roberts in their clutches. So this distracts Archer and the ref. Well, on the other side of the ring, Bunny sneaks up, hands the brass knuckles to Eddie Kingston, who clocks Archer in the face, gets the cheap 3 count.
Cheap.
But his alliances are paying off.
Yeah.
With the Triple B.
Yeah, and we've been and Eddie Kingston, we've sort of been all over the place with the it was the Lucha Bros first, and now we've moved over to the BBs, the BBBs.
Yeah. And then last week we were saying let's pair them up with Ortiz and Santana
instead. Yeah, all over the place. But getting that heat towards Revolution, the pay-per-view, because that's nigh a month away now, I'm sure.
Yeah, I think March 7th or something. They
something
said.
Like that.
Getting close. I think we had our first we had a lot of these, just like on location promos. Moxley just outdoors somewhere in front of a fence, just talking about Omega and the Bullet Club, and teaming up, grabbing all the belts. I don't know. He wants his belt.
Classic Moxley promo, just in front of a fence, in an alley somewhere. Nothing new.
But we get another on location promo. They were hitting the road this week because Sting and Darby, they're in some beat up old building. Talking about the street fight coming up against Team Taz, and then they both smash a couple windows with their weapons.
Yeah, still don't quite know what to expect at this one. I really don't.
Cinematic.
Yeah, we're still going with the cinematic version of it.
That's what I think.
We're gonna get
I don't think it'll be like the parking lot brawl.
No, we're gonna get a skateboard spot of some kind.
More boneyard, less parking.
More boneyard. Yeah, more. Yeah.
Style-wise.
Yeah, you're right.
Then we get the Hollywood Blondes taking on MJF and Chris Jericho. And I don't know if they did this last week or if this was new, but Max and Chris had like a hybrid theme song. Like Judas with a bit of MJF's theme in the background.
Fuck. I feel like I noticed this in the 6-man tag. They did it to all of them.
Oh.
Like for the Jake Hager, Sammy Guevara
They all just came out to the same song?
No, they did like the Sammy Hagar song and the Jake Hager song blended, and then the next one was the MJF. Yeah, so I think I did notice this one before.
Okay.
It's a little bit better than what was the one that was Asuka and Kairi Sane, where it was just like they would just turn one down and turn the next one up. It was a little bit. It was definitely better than that.
Yeah, it was definitely better. But the Hollywood Blondes, they put up a good fight here. Until Pillman, he springboards, trying to get back in the ring, but he jumps right into the Judas effect from Jericho. But then Jericho says, hey, I'm going to hit the lion salt to show all you guys. Last week was just a fluke because he hits the lion salt and smiles into the camera as he gets the pinfall victory. So surely that was his way of saying, fuck you.
No, it was a big middle finger to Jim Cornette sitting on his couch somewhere, just losing it.
Yeah.
The dude's hit how many fucking lion salts in his career, and then finally one of them's not the best.
I mean, we didn't say you couldn't, just maybe you should.
Maybe you shouldn't. Maybe that's what it is.
Yeah. But no, he did it here. Looked clean. Him and Max getting some wins.
Yeah, and at least they're 1 for 1 now. Without there was no real silliness in the booking here. Just kind of give him a direct win. Griff Garrison, though, that's his name, right?
Yeah, Griff Garrison.
I like him.
And Brian Pillman.
I like him.
Yeah, he's cool. He's like I don't know. Remember, like a year ago, he was like the Leon Ruff jobber for a bit, and now he's got this going for him.
He's kind of turned around a little bit, and at least with the name of Brian Pillman.
Yeah, he's already got a good.
Exactly.
Then we get another on location promo from Pac. He was just like in some empty church-looking building.
Pac.
They were just all over the place filming this week. But anyways, he just talks about the 6-man match, Beach Break, which is next week. Snuck right up on us, this Beach Break.
Wow.
In the dead of winter.
Huh.
Yeah. Next Wednesday. And then we hear from NBA legend Shaquille O'Neal, who calls Cody a blonde punk. And if you want to fight, name the time, name the place. In fact, let's do it in March. So it sounds like Shaq wants to name the place. Probably talking about Revolution pay-per-view. And then Tony Schiavone's in the ring. He brings out Cody and Arn to get their response. And Cody says he wants to give the pitch March 7th. Revolution. I'd love to have me and Brandy take on Jade Cargill and Shaq, but life happens. Brandy's knocked up, so I'm going to defer to Coach
I
Arn.
don't think he said that.
Not verbatim, but
Oh, you're paraphrasing here. Okay.
yeah. I mean, yeah, we have to do that sometimes. In the interest of time, he will defer. Cody defers to his coach, Arn Anderson, and Arn tells a story of, back in seeing Dusty wrestle in 1985, and then right after the match, he hopped on a plane to be there for the birth of Cody. Arn says it's hard to capture the public eye like you're going to do with this match. This is once in a lifetime. I disagree there, Arn. This isn't that big. But nobody, I don't think, is going to give a shit when it's all said and done. But anyways, Arn then calls down Red Velvet. Yeah, Arn says she's got the fire. You've got it. And then Velvet cuts to a quick promo. She's fed up with getting attacked, disrespected. So I'm going to stir your bitch ass up. So it looks like Cody's got a partner.
So the match has to be better than this segment, right?
Well, what do you expect Shaq to be able to do?
And this is what sucks, I guess, when sort of, I guess you probably AEW probably finds himself within a position within TNT that maybe they don't have all the say in the world, certainly not like that of Vince McMahon, who could probably control booking of some kind of degrees. There could have been some kind of corporate presence, which pushed the Shaq match. Yeah, so this match is going to be 110% on Cody to hold it together. I can just kind of see that coming. And at least if there's one person that I would trust with delivering under crazy circumstances, it would be Cody.
Yeah, and I mean, if they you can let Shaq do some easy stuff, give him some kendo sticks, just let him smack Cody around a bit. That's easy to pull off. Yeah,
because it's not like it, and Shaquille O'Neal is not a young man. He's almost 50 years old.
I'm sure even getting into the ring will be a bit awkward for him, getting through the ropes.
Exactly. He'll go over the ropes like Taker, but
he'll step over.
He's gonna do a step over. Okay. But yeah, it does feel a little weird. It's just we need. Well, obviously we can't have a pay-per-view without a Cody match.
Yeah.
So let's give him Shaq.
Well, Cody, he wants to be this mainstream entertainment mogul with his Go Big show, and I'm sure he's thinking, hey, there's going to be a clip of this on some sort of sports network, me and Shaq. Right?
Of course, and I think going into All Elite Wrestling's future, it's Cody Rhodes. Long after Cody, won't be able to perform in the ring, he will still be a top dog over at that company, and he's at the point. I don't think Cody Rhodes needs to really do anything more in his career to establish himself. He's already who he is, and his legacy is already defined.
Mm-hmm.
And we all know we all know he's not allowed to challenge for that that championship belt. So I mean, that's about it.
Yeah, I mean, we'll go in with low expectations, and maybe Shaq will have a slam dunk.
We'll go in with low expectations, and maybe we can come out of them with some higher ones.
We'll either see a slam dunk from Shaq or a foul shot from Shaq.
Oh, are we backing down in the post or taking an elbow jumper? Because that'll really determine how skilled Shaquille O'Neal is.
Yeah, we all know how good Shaq is from the line.
That's what they say.
Anyways, let's move on here because Hangman Adam Page is taking on Ryan Nemeth, who you may at least kind of recognize as the brother of Dolph Ziggler, making his AEW debut here.
That's fantastic.
And, I mean, he was really leaning into the Ziggler Jr. thing here with the bleach blonde hair, the bright colored tights. He was even stealing a bunch of his brother's moves. Doing the hip thrust, the big DDT, the
zigzags,
the headstand. No, not quite that far. But he looked pretty cool. But he's not ready to hang with the Hangman. Page hits the buckshot lariat, gets the win. And I should mention Matt Hardy the whole time was watching at ringside, just kind of cheering on Hangman. And afterwards, he explains that he just wanted to be in Adam's corner and support him because he's been watching and he's been concerned. You seem lost, conflicted. The Bucks and Omega, they burnt you. You don't deserve that. And the Dark Order, they're bothering you every day, asking you to join, just making you more conflicted. And I don't want anything from you. You're a good person. You deserve to be happy. But I see you dressing all by yourself in the hallway, and I've got a huge dressing room. There's plenty of space. You're more than welcome. No strings attached. Hardy seems compelling with this offer. He was very nice here.
Yeah,
is there a motive?
We've stepped away from the ring and the danger.
Yeah,
and
which is fine.
Which is fine. And then just let Matt Hardy be this manager.
Yeah. But Hangman seems to be one of the hottest free agents right now. Everyone's kind of after him.
I mean, everyone wants him, and it was the same situation. It was the same situation for him coming into AEW. We know that he was going to be an NXT fucking dream boy if he wanted that opportunity. He came to All Elite Wrestling as this, the future of singles wrestling. Then somehow put on one of the best tag matches you'll ever see. And now he finally gets to be that singles competitor. So
yeah,
God, I watched that match again, the one from Revolution last year. You got to give it a rewatch.
Oh yeah, no, it was definitely it was almost match of the year for me last year.
There's this the spot in it. My favorite spot in that match is Hangman's outside of the ring. Kenny's getting beaten down. They give him the Bucks go for the the dual BTE trigger. Nick Jackson goes for the cover, and then Kenny kicks out at one. It's huge, and then the crowd just
crowd's like, ah!
As soon as it happens, everyone's just on their feet, just fucking Kenny. I was like, God damn it! I think you can actually watch it for free on AEW's YouTube page there if you do want to give it a rewatch. God damn it, Mike.
Well, no, like we said, episode 200 when we come back around to revising top 5 match of all time. You never know.
It could make its way in there. Yeah, because match plus time equals top 5.
Like fine wine, some things get better.
Yeah, or comedy, tragedy plus time.
Well, even like when I was an 8-year-old, the matches that there might have been matches that I didn't like then that I would love now.
Exactly, everything in between.
But all right, let's move along here. We got Dax Harwood taking on Jungle Boy. Some nice singles action here from that. And of course, we got some, well, not quite as stiff, but an added little thing going on. Cash Wheeler and Tully Blanchard are handcuffed to Luchasaurus at ringside, so all 3 men attached to prevent shenanigans. And then we just get treated to a really nice wrestling match here. Just good back and forth, technical action, lots of near falls. They gave him lots of time. This was like 15, 20 minutes.
Yeah, this went through a commercial break too, do a little picture-in-picture. We had full Nelsons, just some classic mat wrestling too in a lot of places.
Yeah, good stuff. Eventually, Jungle Boy locks in the snare trap on Dax. Tully and Cash, they try to get into the ring, but Lucha's holding them back by the handcuffs. And Dax taps out. So Jungle Boy gets a nice submission win.
Wow.
Fantastic match, I thought.
Probably the biggest win of his young career here in AEW.
Yeah, definitely singles-wise.
I can't think of anything else that may be more memorable. And, Jungle Boy being the star of the future is happening way ahead of schedule.
Well, he hasn't even gone for the TNT title or anything.
He hasn't
yet.
even been involved in one of those pictures, right? And when it does, it's going to be too sweet.
Yeah, Jungle Boy Jack Perry looking good again.
Jungle Boy Jack Perry.
But sore losers after the match. Tully Blanchard pulls out this bag of white powder. I don't know if it was supposed to be salt or what, like the old days, but whatever this was, he tosses it in the eyes of Luchasaurus, blinds him, and then they just beat down Jungle Boy some more. They handcuff Lucha to the ropes, and then they cut the horns off his mask. The disrespect.
The disrespect.
It's like Hellboy. Yeah. What happened when Hellboy? Didn't he break off his horns to prevent from becoming evil or something?
Maybe. I saw the first one, I think.
Wasn't that good of a movie.
Clearly not.
But yeah, they cut his horns off, and then they go over to Jungle Boy, and they're ready to cut off those beautiful locks of his. But thankfully, Marco Stunt and some other baby faces run out, chase the heels away.
Thank God.
Yeah. Thank God. Then we go women's action. It's 9:30. It's women's time.
It's ladies' time.
You can set your watch to it.
9:30 p.m.
Yeah, but thankfully, at the very least, we're getting Dr. Britt Baker taking on Shanna, who herself is pretty underrated. We don't get to see her too often.
Is this a Goku gimmick that we're doing right now?
Yes.
Is that what's happening?
Spot. I was going to say, we got the Dragon Ball Z gear going on.
Okay.
Orange and blue with the symbols. But, DBZ cannot compete with the DMD as Baker gets a little help from Reba. And eventually she gets that pink glove on, applies the lockjaw, gets the tap out. So Baker wins, but Shanna, I thought she looked pretty good here. Nice performance. Much like the rest of the women's division, I'd like to see more of her.
Yeah, like literally every single other person. 9:30 mid-match commercial sounds about right.
I think after we got a quick beat down, and then Thunder Rosa comes out, chases off Baker, so they're still kind of having a feud.
Yeah, and that's the match that I'm just praying gets, is that happening at Beach Break? Yes, next week. I'm just hoping that gets some time. I hope it's not at 9:30.
9:30.
I hope there's no commercial break. Like, it sort of seems like out of all the things that could happen on Beach Break, that's one of that should be a highlighted portion of the show.
Yeah, do the wedding at 9:30 because people are like, whatever.
Yeah, should we end the show with the wedding?
They probably want to end it with the 6-man tag, I think.
Right, that makes more sense. Oh, well.
But no, put the wedding as that cool down in between because it's a wedding. Who cares? Then we go backstage. MJF wants to talk to Sammy Guevara. He says, hey, man, I did not tell Wardlow to get involved last week and, help me win that tag team challenge. But Sammy's not buying it. He sees what's going on. You're a manipulator, and you might have the other guys fooled, but I know what you're up to. MJF says, Sammy, you sure you want to play it this way? He just says, I'm not playing. And then we got a big stare down as he leaves. So
I'm not playing.
Yeah.
Bless you, Michael.
I was allergic to the bullshit that was being spun. But yeah, just that tension. Like we've been speculating. If someone's going to get booted from the inner circle, it's probably going to be Sammy.
Or rather, is Sammy going to get booted or Sammy
like
leaving on
out,
his own?
Squeezed out.
Yeah.
Or who knows?
I see what you're saying.
Or something or the other. But anyways, let's go to the main event. We got 8-man tag, the Young Bucks and the Good Brothers teaming up against the Dark Order. And, everyone loves the Dark Order now, so just a good, fun main event. JR himself even mentions, who would have guessed a year ago that the Dark Order would be the ones representing AEW to defend the company and being cheered over the Elite.
That's right.
It's crazy, but good stuff here. You had the big guys, you had little guys, everything in between. Dark Order hit the fatality, big close call, but Anderson breaks up the pin. And then at one point, the Bullet Club hit like this triple power bomb in unison where they all right onto the corner of the ring. I don't know.
That was a big one. That was a big one. Well, yeah, when you got 8 big bodies in here, and even the hot dog boy John Silver, even his body.
He was running
big.
wild. Yeah, he's a thick man. Eventually, the Good Brothers take out Evil Uno with the Magic Killer, and then the Bucks hit Reynolds with the Meltzer Driver to get the win. And then Mac Jackson gets on the mic after, cuts a promo about Beach Break, and the Bucks are going to be in the Tag Team Battle Royal. And if they win that, then they get to pick their opponents for the pay-per-view, teasing that it could be the Good Brothers. But then Rey Fenix runs out, Moxley runs out, everyone starts fighting. Phoenix hits this huge toe-breaking hero with so much momentum. He lands on the guardrail.
Hero.
He was like sitting on the guardrail when he landed. Then Kenny Omega runs out, tries to attack Moxley with his boot, but Moxley hits him with the paradigm shift. And him and Phoenix stand tall to end the show.
A beautifully sold paradigm shift, too, by the way.
Like jumped on his head and stood there for a second.
Kenny Omega took pretty much jumped on his head for a second.
And like stood there, just a headstand.
Just on a headstand. Yeah. Taking a nice spike like that. There was one, Tetsuya Naito took a spike from Chris Jericho at last year's Wrestle Kingdom on one of those hard New Japan tables. And it's just like he stands up vertically for a second and then falls. It's incredible. I can't wait for that main event match. Pac will be the other competitor in that alongside Mox and Rey Fenix.
Yeah, at the Beach Break.
At the Beach Break.
It's kind of weird because that's the name of Orange Cassidy's finishing move.
Yeah,
and
you
he's nowhere to be
mentioned
seen.
that before, but
I mean, it's his second. The Orange Punch is his main finisher.
so I guess we only have those 3 matches on that card so far, which is cool, right? Because we kind of leads time for not only those matches to get a lot of time, but also for the big wedding.
Well, and I'm not sure if this is taking place next week, but they announced for that women's tournament, we're going to see Serena Deeb take on Riho.
Oh, I did see
think.
that. I did see that.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's happening next week either. You're right.
Yeah, I don't know when and where, or even if, but that's going to happen. Which was another one. We should, 2 names I mentioned I forgot you existed get brought back the week later. Riho, Robert Stone.
Well, they're
I'm doing people a favor.
yeah. Well, they're listening to the show. We know that already. Whoever's
Maybe we
booking
should do
this shit.
We could do the opposite one week. I wish you didn't exist. Throw Nia Jax in there.
And then that's how we get them off the
Nia
show.
Jax. Yeah.
Mike, that's perfect. That's the that could be it. That could be it. But that was all of Wednesday night.
That was.
Oh, baby. Got to get a big stretch in there because, of course, the Wednesday Night Wars keep rolling on. Well, before we get to the end of the show, of course, we kicked off with it, right? Because we are in Rumble season. Starting Sunday, the road to WrestleMania has begun.
Oh, yeah.
And it's just it's just flat out truth. So let's give ourselves a little bit of that pay-per-view preview and how we want to see this Rumble play out. So let's start talking about the pay-per-view this weekend, Michael.
Let's talk about it. As of right now, we know of 5 matches. We speculated they'll probably add Bobby Lashley versus Riddle for that U.S. title. Maybe not. We'll see. But if they don't, we've got Asuka and Charlotte Flair defending the women's tag titles against Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler for some godforsaken reason.
Now, I didn't know this match was booked.
Me neither.
I was kind of surprised when I kind of opened up and saw this. Yeah, Charlotte and Asuka are going to win?
I mean, they should.
They should? I don't know.
I don't know. Why this could have been the Riot Squad's moment. Could have put them in
and
there.
what I was most surprised about this, and I don't think it necessarily knocks it out, like Charlotte Flair needs to be in the Royal Rumble. This is the Royal Rumble we're talking about here. This isn't some meaningless battle royal on a Monday night. So to have her, doing the kind of double duty, does Alexa Bliss play into this kind of thing with Asuka going on right now? Who the heck knows? But
I mean, Nia and Shayna could win it, and then hopefully just drop it to the NXT Dusty Cup winner.
But see, I don't think. But that means they'd have to pin either Asuka or Charlotte, and that wouldn't happen.
They can cheat.
Cheat to win.
Yeah. Maybe Lacey Evans comes out, distracts. I don't know.
Maybe Lacey Evans comes out blowing Ric Flair, and that provides the distraction for Charlotte.
And Ric Flair goes, woo! And that's enough to...
That's how they want to book it. If that's how they're going to book it, fuck it. They're going to do it anyways. They're not going to ask us.
Let's go to the next match. The WWE Championship. Drew McIntyre defending against Goldberg. Hopefully Drew wins. We don't need another Goldberg.
Yeah, hopefully Drew wins. Of course, this is our once-a-year contractually obligated Goldberg match, so I understand that it has to happen at this point. Yeah, I mean, Drew's reign has been too strong for it to end like this, especially after Goldberg delivered the exact same consequence result to the Fiend, who didn't he was on a roll. He shouldn't have lost to fucking Goldberg, so you never know what's gonna happen here.
No, I mean, he shouldn't, but he might. It's always possible in WWE.
Anything's possible. I'm pretty sure Vince McMahon trademarked that phrase.
It's definitely been used many times. Yeah.
Like Trump trademarked "you're fired." I definitely think Vince has. Life sucks, then you die, and he has a couple of things trademarked.
I mean, yeah. Unfortunately, I could see a world where Goldberg does win. But the only so that I guess someone else could beat Goldberg at WrestleMania. But why not just have them beat Drew? I don't know.
Yeah, tough.
I don't want it to happen. Let's talk about the other world title match, the Universal Championship. Roman Reigns defending against Kevin Owens in a last man standing match. So this will just be heavy hitting, tables, chairs, everything. We'll get lots of fun, weapons.
And these two guys have pulled their feud kind of out of nothing, just based on their skill, their in-ring skill as performers. And if history, is bound to repeat itself, this will be no different. I'm excited for more just, Michael Cole shutting the hell up and me listening to Roman Reigns and Kevin Owens talk it out. I'm looking excited.
And
more of that
Owens is
stuff.
willing to take anything. He'll take any bump. He'll fall through anything.
Yeah, he'll go through anything. He'll
Fall no high too fall or no fall too high.
Yeah, there's no height, and and he's a quick guy. He'll chase you all the way down that third baseline at Tropicana Field. Don't make him. He'll do it.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens there. But other than that, we've only got our 2 Royal Rumble matches left. So how do we want to talk about these individually?
Yes, let's start with. We'll be talking about them individually. Let's kick off with the women's match.
The Women's Rumble.
Because it's always going to be one of them will start the show and one of them will close the show.
Yeah.
50-50.
Which, I mean, you definitely you don't want to do them back to back.
It's a coin toss to determine who will go first. Because I think actually last year the women went first.
Yeah, they've done both. The women have main evented. The men have main evented.
This could actually
There's even been weird years where the Rumble didn't main event. It was
which is odd.
Should never happen.
Why name the pay-per-view after it?
Yeah, exactly.
You're not going to kick off. You're not going to have you're not going to have your elimination chamber match after a hot mid-card show. You're just not going to do it. It's just not going to happen. It's not going to happen. So this very, very well could end up being the main event to the show.
Could be. So as of right now, according to this list, we only know of 12 of the 30 entrants in the Women's Royal Rumble.
Mm-hmm.
So lots of room for surprises. But we got all the big names, or not all the big, lots of big names. Charlotte Flair's in there, Bianca Belair, Bayley, Nia Jax, Mandy, Dana, Alexa Bliss, among others, like I've already mentioned. Mm-hmm. So, all the heavy hitters are in there. Lots of room, though. We got 18 spots, so lots of room for some returns. I think one of the biggest ones you could see, of course, the brand new mother, Becky Lynch. If she decides to show up, I think this is time for her to return.
Now, Mike, this is a perfect time to bring up, because, the Royal Rumble is that time where we get the returns, right? So if there is a return that you see, Mike, I'm going to double down. You mentioned a former world champion. I'm going to mention another former world champion, Naomi. Why the hell not? Why the hell
Why not?
Not.
No, we haven't seen her in a long time, so I think
I couldn't even tell you what brand she's on. And in the case of Becky Lynch, I think her kid's only like 2 months old or something. In Becky Lynch's case, she can come back and then go away for another 2 months.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be full time. She doesn't have to win the Rumble.
And I think coming out of the dreariness which was 2020, we're gonna have a lot of these popping moments that are gonna make us feel good.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun. Another name. This one's more of a long shot. I don't know if I expect her, but Ronda Rousey. You never know.
Yeah,
she could show up.
You think she should come up? Well, if the one other than returns, return. Of course, you're returning to the company. I guess the opposite of that would be the debut. The debut, yeah. Mike. And if I'm looking at one woman that I could pick to debut in this year's Women's Royal Rumble, truly solidifying herself on the main event, that's Rhea Ripley.
Rhea Ripley, was she not in any of the other Rumbles?
I think she was, but I mean, but when I say debuting, I mean, this
is her call
This
up.
is her coming to the main roster. I think the Rumble is perfect for a performer like her, just because she is so much bigger and way more physical than a lot of that roster. She could very easily occupy that Braun Strowman, you're getting 7 eliminations in a row kind of performance, and we would all believe it.
Yeah, no, I definitely think she'll be in it and have a very strong showing.
Because
maybe even chance of winning.
We saw her last losing to Raquel Gonzalez, I think, right? About 3 weeks ago or something. So I think the time has been there. And if there is a time for Rhea Ripley to come over to the main roster, this is it.
Yeah, I agree. Another return, someone that we haven't seen in a while. or that I was feeling really good about, and then they disappeared.
Uh-oh.
Lana. I want her to come back.
I think she has an injury. Like
Is
like
it
a
an
boot
injury?
and a cast.
Okay.
And things like that.
We'll see. Then maybe she can't if it's that serious. We'll find it.
I'm not entirely sure, but yeah, certainly where we are right now, I see no one new. Like a new superstar. I don't think there's currently
Yeah,
like
no one from outside the company, but
I don't think
we'll see. I think we'll see some more NXTs thrown in there, just like Shotzi Blackheart, Mercedes, Raquel, maybe Ember Moon, Candice LeRae, Indy Hartwell. Throw them all in there. Casey Catanzaro, she's got to do some crazy shit.
Something
fill out some of those
yeah,
spots.
exactly. We need to fill out a lot of these spots, and they don't. They can be women who don't lose anything by losing in the Rumble. Also,
Yeah, Lacey Evans will be in there. Natalia, Nikki Cross, they should all be in. Punk, Billy Kay. Let's see if her and the Riot Squad. They'll probably have some fun little booking moments where she tries to work with them and then screws them.
Something will probably happen like that. Of course, Mike. I got a question for you.
Yes.
Is it going to happen? And if yes, who do you think has the potential of doing so? Will somebody beat Natalia's 2019 record of the longest Rumble? Natalia was in the Rumble for 56 minutes and 1 second. Is there anyone in this kind of field who you think could go that distance right now?
I think someone could for sure. I think Bianca Belair has the athleticism, the cardio to withstand an hour in the ring. If she comes out in one of those number 1, number 2 spots. I mean, lots of the other women could. Yeah, I don't know.
It's tough. Yeah, it is tough. I mean, because literally,
Charlotte Flair could last that long. Bayley could last that long.
It could literally be anybody. But I do have to say, I think if anyone currently has that potential, I'm right along their side with you. I think it's going to be Bianca Belair. If anyone can do it. Sasha Banks came out super early on last year and then was eliminated eventually. Didn't quite beat that Natalia record. But it's a record that stands to be beaten.
It stands to be beaten. I mean, it's one of those things, though. I mean, Natalia doesn't have a whole lot of. She's won the belt, but this could be at least her record for now, and something that she goes by.
Something that she goes
by.
by.
Even if it's by accident.
An accidental nerd stat.
Yeah.
Mike, so out of this match, you're looking at your field, you're looking at your card, returns, debuts, whoever. Who do you have for most eliminations right now? Who's looking good?
Like Rhea Ripley, I think, is going to have a really strong showing. I think she'll be in there early. So Belair's probably. I think Belair, did she set the record last year?
I'm not sure. I actually don't know what that record is, but you could entirely be right.
Yeah, I think either way, though, I think it'll probably be Rhea Ripley racking up the numbers this year.
Yeah, that'll be her. Exactly. I think the same thing. If she's coming over to the main roster to really set herself apart, then yeah, she's going to be the one to fucking take it. Who gets the Kofi Kingston I'm not touching the floor spot?
Well, I mentioned her already. Casey Catanzaro. I think she'll do some crazy shit.
Yeah, she had one of those. I can't remember if it was the first Rumble or maybe it was the second one.
Yeah, she's done it before, but I mean, Naomi's done it before as well. She can do some Kofi shit.
Yeah.
I'm sure Ember Moon could.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right, Mike. And it was, in fact, last year where both Bianca Belair and Shayna Baszler both had 8 eliminations apiece. That is the current standing record.
Yeah. Yeah, I could see Ripley pulling off 9 if they want.
Ooh, baby. Give me all those. That's a third of them.
I mean, maybe not, but...
A third of them. Mike, we're coming down to our final 2 questions here about this ladies' Rumble. Unless you have anything, kind of more to say, but I think we are kind of narrowing ourselves down.
It might be. One of my things to say might have to do with your questions.
Okay. Well, here, I'll just kick it off. Because eventually, we have 30 people. They come in, and eventually 26 of them come out. And we are down to our final 4. So, Mike, 2-part question, because we're kind of looking right now at the final 4 and the champion.
Mm-hmm. Either champion.
So
who's my final 4?
I'd love to hear it. Unless you would like me to kick it off.
I do.
Here,
I have it booked. I have it written. Just one other name I didn't mention that I hope has a good showing in the Rumble. Reckoning, Mia Yim.
Oh, okay.
She's not
That'd be
make
nice.
My final
that would
4.
be good for the whole squad.
A coming out party maybe for her because she's on her own. Mm-hmm. But Anyway, she's not making my final four. I'll get to my final four. Well, of course, the name we've been mentioning this whole time, Rhea Ripley. I almost guaranteed she'll be in it. And alongside her, Bianca Belair, another strong contender. You know, two of the strongest women in the division. I think they're going to be, you know, maybe they'll both break the record. 9 eliminations each.
Each 18 apiece.
That's like half the whole Rumble.
Yeah.
So they're in the final four, and then rounding that out, we've got Alexa Bliss. I think she's going to be doing really, you know, she's going to be crazy. She's going to be, who knows what she's going to be like. She could be shooting fireballs at people in the ring. And then rounding out the final four, if she's there, if she does have the big return, she's going to go a long way. Becky Lynch, I'll put her in. But that's the long shot.
Making it
The other three, I think, are realistic.
Making it to that final four, Mike. I wish I could screen cap my my computer screen and truly show you, because I believe, yeah, exactly what you're saying. I think if Rhea Ripley's coming, she's making an impact. And after we've seen what from Bianca Belair, we know there's something behind her. I think Rhea Ripley and Bianca Belair, two alliterations there. That's fun. Will make it to the final four. And I also said it, Alexa Bliss. Not because I think she can win, more just because, like, I don't know how we can book it to make her not look, to make her not really lose. Because, you know, sometimes a Royal Rumble elimination, you can appear silly or stupid because, you know, you are kind of getting thrown over the top rope. Like, it should be easy to know what's going on around you. It's going to be a weird booking thing, and just rounding up the top four for me, just because if you're a betting man, you got to say it. It's going to be Charlotte Flair.
I mean, yeah, previous winner. She won last year.
I can see
She's
Charlotte Flair coming in that Roman Reigns 30th position and then just going for it.
I could also see, you know, if they want to further the storyline with Lacey Evans, maybe Ric Flair whips his dick out and Charlotte gets eliminated by the distraction.
Jesus Christ. Hopefully not.
Hopefully not that far, but you know what I mean. But that's, yeah. And then at the end of the day, I guess we should pick a winner.
At the end of the day, we have to pick a winner.
You know, for it really comes down. I don't think Becky's going to come back and win. I just threw in there as a nice surprise.
Yeah, that's a surprise. That's a surprise comeback.
Yeah.
If she were.
But yeah, I really could see it go into any of the other three: Belair, Ripley, or Bliss. Ripley, you know, that's the big call up. Who does she challenge? Asuka or Sasha? They're both good matches. Any of these matches, I mean, Alexa Bliss is probably the one that I don't know, in ring wise, you'll get the least out of, but. It'll be weird storyline shit. So I don't know. That's probably the one I see not going with. I'm just going to say Rhea Ripley wins it.
There you go. Rhea Ripley wins it because, Mike, like you said, the winner does, or, you know, like the winner does get that championship opportunity, right, at WrestleMania. So where's the belt going to be there? I think when I follow my mind there, I think the woman walking home as the 2021 Royal Rumble winner is none other than Bianca Belair. That feud, something has to happen for Sasha Banks. We know kind of Carmella isn't that one to last. Sasha Banks' in-ring abilities with Bianca Belair's raw athleticism. I mean, that's just a fucking...
That could be a banger.
That could be a dream. And it's not crazy for, you know, the Rumble to be won by relatively newer performers, right? We saw Shinsuke kind of take a win within the first... year and a half, or however long of him being on the main roster. I think this could kind of be no different. Bianca Belair, it will be your winner.
Hey, I'd be perfectly happy with that.
Yeah.
So, but either way, I think we're gonna get a really fun Rumble. The Women's Royal Rumble has never let us down so far.
Never.
I think they're 3 for 3. So looking forward to that. But yeah, let's move over to the men's side of things, where we know a bit more. They've announced. What are we at? 17 out of 30 have been announced.
Whoa.
So, you know, you got your heavy hitters, the Daniel Bryan, AJ Styles, Randy Orton, Bobby Lashley, Miz. All those guys, the Miz Carters, Big E's in there, Mustafa Ali, and Edge, of course, the only guy that's not aligned to any particular brand. And then, yeah, so other than that, some returns, some call-ups. What do we see here?
Returns and call-ups. Now, I think call-ups is a weird one here for me.
Or maybe not necessarily call-ups, just
Yeah,
NXT
it's sort of like
wrestlers.
NXT guys coming up, because I feel like anybody who would matter shouldn't be booked to lose necessarily, right? You know, especially when it does come to guys like the Undisputed Era. You know, of course, Kyle O'Reilly's not taking a loss anytime soon. Certainly not Karrion Kross. Yeah, you know, so I think there's a chunk of guys who I think would, you know, kind of lose by being in the Rumble. However, if we are thinking of guys who I think their NXT time has passed, I mean, we were saying it a couple weeks ago, this is Damian Priest's call-up time.
I agree. I had Damian Priest. Yeah, he kind of, you know, he had a little North American title run. He had some fun in NXT, but yeah, let's throw him on SmackDown or something.
And he is too, you know, one of those other like big dudes. You know, he's tall, he's lanky. You know, another one of those guys that could be very difficult to get over that top rope.
Another guy from NXT, although I don't think it's a call-up, but one that, like you said, no harm will be done from him just showing up, having some fun, getting eliminated. I'm talking, of course, about Cameron Grimes.
Yeah.
You know, get some exposure on him, have some fun little moments. Then at the end of the day, he'll just go back to NXT. But it'd be nice, right?
Yeah, it would. Wouldn't it be nice? I think more than anything, just kind of especially with current circumstances, if we are calling about returns, debuts, this, that, the other, I don't foresee any, you know, where we get kind of like that bump of the 50-year-old guy. Or the 45-year-old who comes back for that one performance, you know, like Sabu
Like, I don't think Road
back.
Dogg's coming out.
No, I don't think we're getting Tommy Dreamer this year.
Yeah, which is probably for the best.
Which is probably for the best. We will get to showcase.
I mean, if Fit Fenley comes out, I'll pop.
Oh, of course, we're all pop.
If he's got his Irish.
If Finley comes out, I'm changing my bets because I think he's going to take it. But yeah, I think we don't necessarily get those kind of guys. Probably just stay a lot within the Gulags, members of the Gaggle.
Yeah, rest of the Retribution will be in there, I'm sure. Slapjack, Mace, T-Bar.
Yeah.
Maybe, speaking of the new mother, Seth Rollins, I'm sure can make an appearance.
Yeah.
Put in some work, you know, stay in there for 20, 30 minutes. Help kind of be the veteran orchestrating things.
I'm sure he's still got it. He's taking a little bit of time off, but I don't think that hurts his chances at all.
And, you know, more guys. You said Kyle O'Reilly. I don't think he'll show up. Like you said, it's... You know, he's picking up steam, but I don't know. I could see someone like Adam Cole still showing up, just having a little appearance.
Yeah.
Or maybe a Tommaso Ciampa, even though they're both still NXT. They don't want to come up. You know, why not? Why not? You can. It's been established you can win the Rumble and go for the NXT title, so why not participate?
I guess
Charlotte did it last year,
Charlotte
right?
Flair set the bar for that, right?
Yeah. So other than that, one guy that forgot you existed last week, Aleister Black. Hopefully he comes back soon, or just release the poor fella, because we miss you, Aleister.
He could come back. I guess now would be the time, whether he's repackaged or something like that. You never know.
Yeah. Another big name that's missing from this list so far, Keith Lee, is almost guaranteed to be in the Rumble and have hopefully a good shot.
He'll be another one of those, takes 4 guys to eliminate him.
Maybe even a dark horse for a Final Four spot.
He could even be a dark horse for the final spot. Mike, in 2006, Rey Mysterio set the longest record in Royal Rumble for 62 minutes and 12 seconds. Do you think anybody on the card has the potential of coming in at number 1 or 2 and lasting and going the distance?
The potential's there. I mean, I think Daniel Bryan already.
Well,
I mean,
I was in the greatest Royal Rumble. You know,
I know.
the asterisks.
It's a technicality, but Daniel Bryan himself has already been announced for this Rumble, and I could absolutely see him going the distance again. But I don't know if it's going to last an hour. Who knows? You know, the timing of the Rumble's never the same. Some Rumbles have only lasted 40 minutes.
Weird. Well, I think if anyone has to do it, I guess maybe the question should have been then for me, who will be kind of like the Iron Man of the match.
Yeah, no, I could see Daniel Bryan, AJ Styles, maybe Sami Zayn having a really good showing. Guys like that.
Yeah.
You know, even The Miz, he usually hangs in there. He's good at hiding in the corners and shit.
Yeah, AJ Styles is my pick to kind of be our Iron Man, if you were. You know, he announced a long time ago, so let's give it to him.
Yeah. No, that's fine with me. Should we get to the final four?
One more question, though.
Sorry.
Who's getting the Kofi Kingston spot? Of course, we just heard Kofi Kingston's injured. Someone needs to get the Kofi Kingston spot where you kind of like a cat. Jump on the barricade and then kind of down on a table, your feet never touching the ground. My money is on Ricochet, the human superhero. Remember when his theme song used to have little bullet ricochet sounds?
Yeah, like pew.
I think it would be his job to have. However, it will be followed by a very humiliating elimination.
Yeah, Ricochet is probably a good bet. He's definitely got that athleticism. Maybe if you really wanted to, although he doesn't deserve a spot, you could throw in Reginald in there. He's doing all those flips lately.
He does not deserve a spot. No, you're right.
Yeah.
He does not.
I guess, two other names I forgot to mention could be as surprises. Both Brock Lesnar or John Cena could show up, make some waves.
Yeah, the John Cena edition would only be, just like I said before, to bring us out of the dreariness of 2020 and into the hopeful outlook of 2021. That would be the John Cena moment. However, filming for the Peacemaker television series just started in Toronto, Ontario, where, of course, John Cena is the star. So this is a two-parter, I guess. Go check him out in downtown if you're looking for John Cena. And number two, it would mean like a quarantining on multiple sides. I don't see that one happening.
Okay. Well, I mean, Brock Lesnar hasn't been seen in a while, although I'm sure he doesn't give a fuck.
He doesn't care.
And then the last wild card I forgot to mention, because that was the whole point of him being burned alive so he can come back as Super Fiend. Will we see the debut of the Super Fiend?
And is that just kind of like the Fiend with a cape?
I don't know. That's just my speculation. He comes back more disfigured looking and even more. His face is creepier.
A new mask to sell for $300 on WWEshop.com?
Something like that.
Something like that. Well... So the disfigured Fiend comes back. He could possibly. That could be exciting. Does the Mick Foley thing, comes down as three different characters, but eventually we're gonna have to make our way down to our final four.
Yes.
So here's my final four here for you. A combination of, of course, there have been people who have announced for the Rumble. Those who we think will certainly make it there. Name we just mentioned. I think Keith Lee's going to go the distance. He hasn't announced that he's been there, but we didn't see him on television this week. He is that kind of guy that could do it. Not only have the stamina to last for a long time, and then also fucking be difficult to eliminate.
Yeah. He's got it all going for him.
Speaking of difficult to eliminate, I see standing right beside him there is Big E.
Mm-hmm.
Big E, of course, he is the IC champion right now, but he has no match on the card. He's actually in the Royal Rumble, so there's not even going to be an Intercontinental Championship match. Not even.
As of now, no.
As of now, not right now. And my final two spots to round up that final four is going to be, once again, the Ran Man Randy Orton and Edge. Coming back to the final four for his second year in a row, just because someone's gotta.
Yeah, I mean, he's, before he got injured, it was looking like he may have been coming to a world title shot at some point or another, so who knows?
At some point or another.
All right, let me get to my final four then. I'll just start off with the names you mentioned. Edge, I also have making a good splash in this Rumble here to the final four, along with Big E, who, is going to have a good showing, I think, having a good year.
Mm-hmm.
Then the other two names, I think Sami Zayn is going to be able to sneak his way into that final four somehow.
Fantastic.
Maybe the cuffs will come out again. He'll cuff himself so he can't get thrown over. Who knows? But either way, I'll be happy to see him. And then the other guy who's been hyping his Royal Rumble for a couple weeks now, Daniel Bryan. I think he's got to make it to the final four after, the way he's been promoing and all that shit. Maybe even win this damn thing.
Maybe even win it. Well, Mike, you said it right there. You've narrowed it down to four competitors, but who's walking home with that championship opportunity?
Well, I'll just go with my heart and book the man who never won the Rumble that he always should have. Daniel Bryan should win the match and face Roman Reigns at WrestleMania main event.
That's your match right there.
And win the damn thing. Win it all.
Give it to him, God damn it.
Yeah. To Daniel Bryan. Because there'll be fans there to cheer, so it'll be awesome.
Yeah, that would be it. I'm going to go a little bit of a different direction on this one. I love Daniel Bryan taking on Roman Reigns. That would be a phenomenal main event. However, I think that the winner of this championship will be challenging that champion over on Monday Night Raw. Don't you think? And I just think that Edge is going to win it.
Ooh.
I just think he's going to win it. Now that he is back after was supposed to be back and then wasn't, I think there's a little bit of catch up that has to go on. He doesn't want to do this for the rest of his life. If he's coming back, he has to come back for a reason, and some kind of way where maybe even not necessarily Drew McIntyre's the champion come WrestleMania. I have no idea. However, I do think Edge is going to win the Royal Rumble.
Yeah, I mean, Edge. I mean, if Orton finds a way, maybe Elimination Chamber to beat Drew
something
for the
like
title.
that. Exactly. Yeah, I see that as being the biggest money matchup on Raw right now.
Yeah, and since we're getting 2 nights again, Edge Orton one night, Daniel Bryan Roman the other night, we can do it both.
I mean, hell, we can still do it.
Yeah.
Of course, maybe, if we come down to Edge and Randy and The Fiend is the one to fuck Randy over, Edge gets the win. It's all things that could all kind of fall into place.
And then give Edge the title. Let him win the damn thing.
Oh God, I love the Rumble, and that was that was our little book. That was our little booking preview. Before we get to the end of the show, let's finish this show off. We got to start talking about the Wrestler of the Week.
With the wrestler of the week, of the week. The wrestler of the week, of the week, of the week. The wrestler of the week, of the week, of the week. The wrestler of the week, of the week, of the week. The wrestler of the week.
Maybe we should have looked over before talking about the Rumble. It almost feels like it was in the rear view. But Mike, I'll kick this one off just because he had a fantastic singles match. He was on Wednesday, and we already said he has such a bright future ahead of the main roster of that All Elite Wrestling family. I'm giving it to Jungle Boy.
Jungle Boy Jack Perry.
Jungle Boy Jack Perry.
Yes, we love him.
Yeah, it's cool to see, and maybe we see it more in AEW than over on the main roster stuff, but the veterans giving the young guys, that kind of match. And, what was it? Dax Harwood, I think it was against.
Yeah.
Dax Harwood needs to be there for Jungle Boy to be able to, have the trust needed to make these things happen. I love watching younger guys get put over, and this was a great example of that. So Jungle Boy Jack Perry, you're the Wrestler of the Week.
Hell yeah. Oh, well, I hate to do it, but the streak must live on.
No way.
It must live on because Jungle Boy is the winner.
Wow.
I picked Jungle Boy once again. Yeah. We are on a roll here. Is this 4 weeks in a row?
This is unprecedented in the Shoot Brothers wrestling podcast history.
2021 has been consistent here.
Wow. Who knows what the future holds? Hopefully the results from the Rumble can yield a similar result.
I mean, the Rumble's crazy though. A lot of shit can happen.
Amen
so
to
who
that,
knows?
brother. That's all the time we have for the podcast, though. That's all the
Yes,
time.
What a wild.
Rate, review, like, and subscribe because we are everywhere. And you got to come back next week because, of course, the Rumble's going down, baby.
Yeah, and then beach break. It's going to be a busy week.
It's going to be a busy week next week, so you're going to want to stick around and tune into that Rumble. And we'll be back with a lot of exciting stuff next week.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, talk to you later, folks.
Shoot.